Now that you've finished installing your Kufatec Sound Booster Pro, you can go from this to this with the touch of a button.
Welcome to the Integrated Solutions video series, brought to you by Autofidelity and hosted by Terence Toh.
Hi, I'm Terence Toh, and welcome to this episode of Integrated Solutions. We've already done a few videos for the Kufatec Sound Booster where we demonstrate the product and do some sound comparisons. If you haven't seen those videos already, it might be a good idea to check them out to find out more about this great product. In this video, we'll give you a quick guide to install the Sound Booster Pro into a 2016 Audi SQ5 Plus. We'll be using Kufatec item number 40180, which is also compatible with A6 and A7 4G models fitted with the 3.0 litre TDI bi-turbo diesel engines. For more information, you can check out kufatec.com.au or on our website at autofidelity.com.au. The Kufatec Sound Booster module will mount in the boot, and the connections for this product are plug and play. So I'll give you a quick step-by-step guide to remove the panelling, mount and install the module, and then put everything back together again. So to begin with, we're just going to pull out the main panels, pull all that out. All right, we're going to take the side panel out as well, just to make life a little bit easier. That'll do for that. Okay, so we don't need too much for today's installation, but the extra bits and pieces that we're going to use today are some cable ties, a 10mm socket. We're going to use some side cutters, which are really just to cut the cable ties. This little plastic tool, which I really love, help us remove some panels without breaking stuff and leaving marks everywhere. T30. Today we're using I'm going to use a driver to do stuff, but you can use a T30 just as a screwdriver as well. So that's a T30 Torx bit, Torx. Okay. I'm going to take this base trim out here. Do that with a trusty trim tool, and just by getting in underneath the panel, okay, and lightly giving it a little bit of a push upwards. Okay, that's out. Once that comes out, there's a little connection just here. Hopefully you can see that, and you can just unplug that by pushing the sides of the clip in, and that's out. Put that on our trim bench, and then now we can put the bar cover back on so that we keep the bar protected. Next we're going to remove this panel down the back here. That will just pop straight up pretty much. Oops, there we go. And we also need to just put the seats forward, and we can flip that back like that. The next step is to remove these two luggage hooks, okay? And just to do that, just pop them straight up. And underneath here, they're using T30 Torx bits. You can just use what's called a Torx screwdriver, spelled Torx, okay? You can also use one of these, which will make life a little bit easier for you. Okay, what you can actually do is leave the screws in there, okay, pop the hook straight up, the screws will disappear back into it, close the luggage hook back over, and then that'll store away and you won't lose the screws. So the next step is just to pull this trim out here, all right, and that should just pull straight up, nice and easy, and then we can store it. Now, as always, when we're pulling panelling out of the car, it's important just to stack it nicely. We've just, in this case, because it's a small installation, we've just used a little portable bench, and you can just stack all your panels up here. Just be careful, make sure when you're putting them down, you're not going to damage any panels. Okay, now this is the Audi active sound module that we've been trying to get to. So what I'll do is I'll just unbolt this quickly. That'll allow us to get to the connector nice and easily, and then we can plug the Kufatec module in. They're two 10mm bolts, so just undo those quickly. Okay, so we've undone that. Module's out, and then it's just a question of unplugging. And before you do this, just make sure the car is switched off, keys are out of the car. Okay, just unplug that. We'll be back with the sound booster. Okay, so once you unpack the sound booster module, you'll end up with this Sound Booster Pro module and a wiring harness. The wiring harness has got a main connector that goes into the Sound Booster Pro module, like so. And then it's got two connectors here, which are plug and play, which will actually plug into this connector, and the other side will go into that active sound module. Then it's got a little switch. This switch is kind of optional, and if you're going to use this switch, we would recommend putting it at the front of the car. We'll actually show you where we normally recommend installing it, but we're not going to put it in today. We're going to try something a little bit different. We would also substitute that switch for a slightly different type of switch, something like that. Okay, and we just find that we can install that at the front of the car and we don't have to drill any holes, and it looks quite good. Okay, so to do the actual installation, the first thing we'll do, we've got our sound booster connected. We'll connect these. Now, you can actually hide this cable here, or this connector, nice and neatly just up behind this panel here. And also, this switch, considering that we're going to just hide it away, what we'll do is we'll pull it through, and then we'll just leave it up there. So it's just so it's still accessible. With that cable, just a couple of cable ties. Cut the ends off in a minute, and then this module will be able to go back into place. Okay, and the sound booster module will go in this way, and it can just mount on top of the active sound module there. We're just going to use a bit of Velcro, a nice, stable, strong Velcro will do fine. You can use double-sided tape if you like. Probably don't use anything that's too permanent, because at some point in time it may need to be removed. Okay. And the other important thing here is that the little USB connection, we want to be able to get to that if we need to in the future. Okay, so now all we've got to do is really reverse the process to be able to put the car back together. Before I go too far, we're actually also going to run a little USB cable here, just so that we can do make some changes to the sound booster on the go. Okay, so a little USB cable, we'll plug that in. Just going to put this up here. It's a little bit temporary, just we're going to do some programming later on this car. Because in case you don't know, Kufatec now allow you to customize the tones in the car. And we're going to do another video on that. Okay. Now we'll do a bit of reassembly. This connector here, don't forget to reconnect it. it was as simple as that. Okay, so as we said, we're not technically installing a button in this particular car, but this is just an example of exactly, here's one we prepared earlier, and this is how we would normally put them if we were putting a button in, and that's what it would look like. Now that you've finished installing your Kufatec Sound Booster Pro, you can go from this to this with the touch of a button. If you've enjoyed this video and you'd like us to do more of them, track us down on Facebook and give us a like there, or subscribe to our YouTube channel, or otherwise just get in contact with us. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Harrison, sorry, it's going really slow. It's just the Kufatec Sound Booster module